I'm the budget model, and this is episode 7 of our Eduard Revell 172nd Tonka build. You've got me, Steph, budget modeler, and you've got John Marley from Piece by Piece Down Under. G'day, dude. How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, could complain, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I woke up. It's great. So can't fault that. What about you? What have you been up to today?
Well, I potted down to my local brick and mortar, the Frontline Hobbies. It's a huge place, and all it was basically one thing of paint, two. But RAF blue for uniforms, Oxford.
Yep.
When I was there, I went to the front counter and I said, "Oh, if you could put it against my account, please." And he just went, "Did it 3 button strokes?" And he said, yeah. I said my name, John Marley, and he said, "Yeah, I've got it here. This is the manager of the store. I've got it here." And I said, "Oh, with 3 button strokes?" And he said, "Yeah, we've made a shortcut for you. You'll hear that often." So I'm just like, okay, I don't know whether I'm happy about that or not, but they know who I am.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you speak to him about Piece by Piece?
No, I did not.
Why?
Because there's a meeting that's happening on Friday, and I want to talk to somebody there about that before that. That next
what you could have done is given him the heads up, explain to him
right.
what's going on. That's all you've got to do is just explain to him. You're procrastinating, John.
I am.
Stop it.
Okay.
Get your thumb out your ass and go and see him tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, you've been told off. You want to get this off the ground and you really mean it, then you need to start procrastinating. You need to start doing.
Yes. You're right.
It's like me. I'm just as bad. That's why I can say it, because I'm as bad as you are. I've got so many kits on the go that I just haven't finished, and I need to get finished. It's like this morning I've been working on 2 other kits. I've been working on my Islander and those little jets. I'm doing some spraying, and I need to clean my airbrush because it's filthy.
Oh.
So, what have you got done, and what stage are you at?
All right, switching camera. What I've done is a really, well, I guess you'd call it. It's a marble coat, but it's pretty rough as. But the fact is, it's all going to be covered with other colours anyway. So it's all together. It had been primed previous, and I had painted the inlet ducts and the undercarriage wells. They're white, and these are like a barley grey, if you like. And then I just used a bit of Wet-X sort of sponge, sort of rubbery stuff, and just cut that to size and threw them in there and toothpick and just made a little sort of cover for them. And when they come out later on, if there's any sort of cleanup, then I could just do that. So that'd be okay. I've also primed and got ready pretty much all the other accoutrements. So the exhaust ducts, like the buckets, reversing buckets, have been, just been given a coat of titanium. So I plan to do all the metal on this later on, but that's happening. And then I'll be using the other sort of, like there's steel and there's other metal coats, so burnt iron and stuff, and just make a little sort of mixture of those.
Mm-hmm.
With that, everything else is, as I say, being primed, ready for that step. The AIM 9s have been just painted brown. I just chose it's basically a US medium grey, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
USAF medium grey. Grey all over for those. And the the 8222 pods had been, they were primed previously, but just given a coat of olive green. So they're pretty much done. All that remains on those is 2 decals on each one, or decals. Yeah. They're just basically warning signs. It's a very small sheet showing here.
Yeah.
Bit bright. What if we get rid of that screen, that pop-up screen? There we go. Nope. I'll peel this off, as you see there.
Yeah. Cool.
You can't see. It's yellow and a couple of lines. So they're pretty much done, and they're lovely. I'll have photos of that. I'll send to you later on, Steph.
Cool.
And that's me.
Cool.
Oh,
Right. So
and the
what
rest of it is primed. All the pylons I'm going to use and the racks are all ready to go.
Cool.
Hmm.
You finished?
Yes, go
You
for
sure?
it. I am.
Right. So what have I got done so far? It's all marked out. You can't see the pencil. Just trying to get it to. Nope, can't see the pencil. But start to blue tack. So I'm going to do the grey first. So I'm using blue tack because it's better than that black stuff. Because when you finish with this, whatever colour's on there, you just peel it off and then you rub the blue tack and the paint disappears. It's great. So yeah, that's where I am with this thing. That keeps squidging.
Oh.
So yeah, come on. Just get that in place. Yep. So there's that. So I'm just going to carry on and do all the blue tacking. But before I do that, I'm going to come out of Solar Layout. I'm going to go and get myself a cold drink, which I should have done before the show.
Sure.
So I will leave you in Mr. Marley's capable hands, even though there's nobody watching. But I don't care.
That's fine.
Back in the mode flow.
Take your time. All right. So what I plan to do is, usually what I do is use a combination of masking putty. This is SMS stuff, but Panzer putty, different names. But this time around, I had purchased a where are we? A top-notch mask set. So I'll be basically painting the grey, and then putting these over the grey to expose the areas that'll be green. And interesting in that this set has lots of sheets. The reason I bought it is because it's complicated for the size, being 70-second scale. But there's quite a few masks, and as you can see, they're all color-coded. And there's lots of sheets, so it'll either work or it won't. But today, what I plan to do is just basically give it a coat of grey. I'll be using for my colour RF Dark Sea Grey BS381C/638, so an AK real colour. Used that recently on a Lightning model, and the same thing. No BS number, basically it's the dark green, RF dark green. So those two colours are going to give me what will be that scheme. And that's the plan. So I'm in two minds about whether to sit here and mark out where the grey goes roughly with a pencil as just a rough idea, and then staying on those areas, and then I think I will actually. I'll do it in pencil, follow those lines as accurately as I can, and then the masks will be over the top, so that it'll be just one coat of each. So I'll just do that quickly. I'll see how that goes. What could possibly go wrong? He says, looking for his pencil. Ah, there we are. This may not take too long, but it might. Dun, 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 dun. Got his music in my head again. Oh, you know what? When you're drawing the lines for the top of the wing, don't use the bottom as a template. Good start. Yeah, it's almost the same anyway. Here we go. This will just be a rough guide, as I say. Dominic, hello, welcome.
Give me a sec and I will pop that up. Yep, afternoon, Dominique. How you doing? Hope you're well. What you working on? Just got delivery.
Oh, yeah?
New set square
Oh, nice.
for when I'm kit bashing. And also a set of these.
Oh, I can't see what they are.
I will show you. Also for when kit bashing. Yeah, come on now. There you go.
Oh. For cutting what?
It's not for cutting.
What's it for?
I will show you. So for when you're working with plasticard and you want to put a notch in it,
Okay.
there you go. You can do a couple of those and then cut there, and you have, let me find my knife. And you go from tip to tip, 1, 2, snip it out, and level it out. There you go. You've got a notch. So yeah, nice handy tool for kit bashing when you're making panels on a spaceship.
So what is it marketed as?
It's called a notching tool.
There you go.
But obviously you wouldn't make it that deep. You'd probably make it about that deep. So you're probably fine if I find something. Yeah, you'll only make it about yay deep. So yeah, just makes it look good.
Sure.
Adds a bit of interest to the panels. Guess who's been watching Adam Savage this morning? Well, not just this morning. I've been watching him for a while. And it's so much fun watching him. Because he's a right cock-up merchant.
All right. Oh, making a lot of mess here. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Interesting. The camouflage is close to being symmetrical, left and right, and top and bottom.
It's not far off, is it?
About. Might as well mark out the fuel tanks while I'm at it.
Yep. Yeah, the reason I decided not to go today, because I was contemplating going to the cricket, was the fact of the rain at the moment.
Oh, it's raining.
Yeah, it's absolutely passion doing.
Mentioned to my daughter earlier today, we were heading out to a shopping centre. I said, like, we had 2 years of La Nina down here, so we had
2
relatively.
years of what?
Oh well, you got El Nino.
Oh yeah.
Is the summer sort of like drought and everything else, and then every 7 years or so, like totally random, is La Nina. The female version is.
Oh, El Nino.
Yeah, El Nino and La Nina. So one male, one female. Yeah, so it's been like a coolish couple of summers, and it's been dry winters as well, and it's still been a dry winter here so far.
Okay.
Which is nice, but yeah, we're just talking about the weather. It's been beautiful days here. Obviously, when the sun drops, the temperature drops, but pretty good for winter so far.
Nice.
That'll do. So both the Boz pod and the Sky Shadow are green predominantly.
Yes, they are. They're all green.
And all the
Apart
pylons
from
are
the
green?
silver. Yep, all the pylons are green. The Boz and ECM pods are green, apart from on the Boz pod, which is the silver band.
At the back?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, near the back, behind the wing. Thereabouts.
What the clucking bell? Oh my giddy aunt. Okay, that's going to be fun.
What'd you do?
Oh, I took a load of bloody primer off.
Oh.
And I cleaned this with bloody isopropyl alcohol.
And you use a spray can primer as well?
Yeah.
Should be robust, you'd think.
It's surprising.
I use the Vallejo stuff, and I don't like it. The reason I'm using it is to use it up. You know, it's just too unpredictable, I think. Like you could just tear chunks. Being acrylic, yeah, it can have a rubbery sort of aspect to it.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Set up. If this compressor gets too noisy, let me know. I'll mute myself.
I shall do.
I don't know why I did that, but basically I've got 3 references here. I've got the extra decal instructions for a different decal sheet. I've got the Revell instructions and the top-notch mask placement you'd think I'd follow either the top-notch one or the extra decal one, because comparing it to the Revell one, yeah, differences in the details, but I should have followed the top-notch one. It's a little bit smaller. That's the reason I didn't. It'll do. Okay. Ooh, first things first, I should pour myself a glass of wine. So this is just a 50-50 mix of AK with we've got Mr. Colour leveling thinner, the Unicorn Tears, as it's been called.
Right. I got 2 bottles of it.
Okay. This is rather hard to get. Like that, they never have it in my local brick and mortar. It's always, and whenever it's there, I'm bringing it up the counter. Everyone behind the counter goes, "Ooh!" and then it all disappears. They must grab it themselves. But yeah, they just don't keep up with demand. I think if they had it, they'd sell more. But no, it's never on the shelf. I've got a good. They've got most brands of paint now, which is fantastic. But
yeah.
All right. Let's. Give that a stir. Wunderbar.
I know a song like called that.
Sorry?
I know a song called Wunderbar.
Okay, I don't think I do.
Wunderbar, Wunderbar. Okay, rendition of it.
Great. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
I think it was the Stray Cats in the 80s.
Oh, no. Well, I don't think I know Stray Cats. I know of them, of course, but I don't think I know. I don't think I can pick a song of theirs. Let's go back to this. Grey tail, grey nose. There we go. I'm gonna hold it by hand just for a moment. How's the noise level?
No, it's fine. If it's too noisy, I'd tell you.
There we go. So just checking for viewers at home, this is my pressure's about 5 psi or so. This, as I said earlier, this is a 50-50 mix of the self-leveling thinner and the AK real color. And with a low pressure, I'm going around quickly and spraying in all sorts of places, not doing sweeps, just to sort of have it more sort of blotchy and random sort of light and shadow and all that sort of stuff. So this is just the first coat. I'll come back and do another coat a bit later on. But all I'm doing at the moment is marking out really the rough line of where the demarcation between the grey and the green is. So I did the external tanks first, so if it is a problem with the mixture or anything else, and I'll tell on something I can totally repaint and not worry about, then doing the airframe. But
Cool.
That's okay. Happy with that?
Cool. Right, got a comment. Dominic says, I'm still working on the Tiger 1. Little by little, everything is in paint and put together. I think it will be finished around mid-October. I know that feeling. I have a Tiger 2 that's doing silly things like that. It's just not playing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. Go back to the top-notch instructions as a guide. As I say, this is going to be roughing in the grey. I could paint the whole thing grey and then do the green afterwards. But basically, if I do that, then all the marbling won't particularly show through on this. So if I'll roughly do it as close as I can to this, just freehand, and then when the masks go on, sort of clean up everything if I need to. It should be okay. I'm not really worried about any of it. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, there we go. Grey, grey. So I mentioned last time, I think maybe 2 episodes ago, that we have a coffee catch-up thing with a local group of people from Air Force and other, Navy, Army that have recently had medical discharge, all that sort of stuff. So I'll just look that up. They've got, there we go. So bad news. This Friday is our last official Soldier On coffee catch-up due to a slash in government funding and social activities position, and all 3 pathway jobs have been axed locally for people who have lost employment. As such, it's your last chance to attend. This guy will be there, as will this lady. We can talk and thank them both for their efforts. We can also discuss the future of the catch-up, whether we continue to meet there every fortnight or choose a new venue. After this Friday, it's pay your own way. I hope that won't discourage anyone from attending, and I'll act as coordinator. So that's a bit of bad news, but I'll be attending.
Mm.
A nice bunch of guys and girls. There we go. So as I explained earlier, I'm just moving the airbrush around and getting a bit like just doing it all over the place, just to get a bit of a mottled sort of coat on it. There we go. And try to do it just enough so you can see the marbling underneath, but only slightly. And I'll come back and I'll give every area a second coat, but it's very easy to do too much.
Right, just got the tails to come up. Right then, time to clean the old airbrush.
Right then, time to have another sip of wine. Cheers, everyone.
Oh, cheers. Bit of dandelion and burdock. Nommy, nommy, nom, nom. We've got Pumbert Modelling. Evening, boys. Just a quick hello from me and a quick hello from us.
Hello, Pombelt. Welcome back. So, Steph, we had our last weekend was our local meet, our Newcastle Hunter Scale Modelling Society,
Did you meet
AGM.
him?
So, I'm sorry?
Did you meet him?
No, I did not. He was not there. I don't believe. Certainly didn't introduce himself.
He's
But,
being a sod. I reckon he was there and he's just winding you up.
Maybe. But I said all committee positions are now open. So, Treasurer, I nominate John Marley. Oh, okay, I'll accept it.
You can decline.
No, I didn't want to because, based on my views, whatever it takes to keep the group going, and I certainly don't mind a committee position.
No, I understand that, but what about your charity that you want to set up?
Because
Taking away time from that.
This one won't take much time.
You do know I'm going to ride you like a git until you start doing things.
What do you mean
You
going to?
Okay, I am riding you.
Yeah, it'll happen. I spoke to my daughter and my wife about it today. What I was saying was, because Bron was a little bit cranky yesterday, I couldn't understand why. So I spoke to Jenna, one of the daughters, on the way to a shop today. And I said, look, if I need to, if she doesn't like it, the amount of time that I'm online doing live chats and sessions and stuff like that, and the amount of time I'm out here building models of one description or another. I said if I need to sell my entire stash and give it all away, I'll do that because obviously family is more important to me than a hobby. I mentioned it to Bron today, and she just said, "Well, what would you do with your time?" I said, "Well, read books and spend time with you." And she just said, "No, you can stay out in the garage, thanks."
Yeah, just to offer her worst nightmare.
Yeah, not wrong.
No, you can. You
want to what?
You want to do what? You can bollocks. I like my space.
Yeah. Haven't you got a book to read? Yeah.
But I want to be with you and read it.
Yeah. So no, she, I think, she's been getting a bit cranky. Obviously, she came out here to talk to me yesterday, but I was in the middle of our live chat, and I just sort of said, I'll catch up with him. 20 minutes later, I went inside. Did you want something? No. Just didn't want to talk. Anyway, no, she's okay with it. Grey on black and white. Follow your references, he said, while he goes off and does something completely different. I was talking to Jenna about it. I said, you know how I want to set up this charity to help veterans. She said, yeah, I think it'd be fantastic if you were able to do that. She said, if you were like the chairman or the CEO or whatever you want to call it of something like that, she said, I think it'd be fantastic. So that's nice, having your kids' acceptance.
But you're not. She said, if you did it, it would be. Not, you've done it, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're right, Jenna.
Just imagine what it would be like if you'd actually done it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know.
pump built modelling. No, not yet. I'm recovering from surgery at the moment. Defo will go to 1 though. Cool.
Okay. Well, I hope you do. So, if you don't mind, what surgery was it, and how are you going? Unless it's something you don't want to talk about. Medical in confidence, of course.
Yep. Pump, bear in mind this is a public show.
Yes.
So if you're unsure,
Your
don't
call.
say. No, if you're unsure, don't say. If you're just say no, don't want to discuss it.
But if you do come to a meeting, please introduce yourself and say good day. I'd be very pleased to meet you, as anyone else would be. So Steph, last weekend was the Model Expo,
All right.
which is in Melbourne. It's not a nationals per se, but we don't really have a nationals. There's an event in Queensland in each of the states, but it was a big Victorian one for the year. It's held at Sandown Racecourse.
Yep.
In one of the venues there, one of the halls, and my brother went down with his Spitfire and he entered it. And he didn't expect a place or whatever, and that's just well because he didn't. But what he was saying was all he wanted to do was see how it compared to other peers like models. So he said there were 4. It was a 30 second wrong. No, sorry, 1/32 scale Tamiya Spitfire Mark 9, and it was on the bench with 3 other ones: a tropical one, another one from the same squadron as his markings, but a different aircraft, and then a third one as I can't recall now. But he was saying that it looked as good as the other one, so all he wanted was a bit of validation, and he certainly got that. So he's very pleased with that.
Good, because it was a lovely model.
Oh, still is. And I was talking to him yesterday. I said, look, are you annoyed that I got you into this hobby again? Because he had given up, hadn't done a model in about 10 years or so. And he was like, oh, no, I love this hobby. It's fantastic. Thank you very much. I was feeling guilty that I was getting him to waste money and stuff, but he loves it.
Good. So it should be. Right, I'm really sorry there's nothing going on my desk at the moment. It's just that I'm cleaning my brush.
That's fine.
Because it's tired up and filthy.
And next weekend, the one coming is the Illawarra model show. I can't remember the name. I could look it up. But Illawarra is Wollongong. It's about 70 kilometres south of Sydney.
Right.
I'm about 170 kilometres north of Sydney, but I think it would be worth going to. I messaged a couple of friends to see whether they wanted to head down together. I'm waiting for a response.
Cool. Okay, Pombilt's responded. He says, I had my metatarsals realigned in both feet. 3 screws and a guide wires in each.
Oh,
Going
wow.
good, though. Minimum pain, just wearing funky sandals. As long as you're not wearing socks with sandals.
No, that's gone a step too far.
That's creepy. That's a Jesus creeper, as we call them.
Wow. Jesus wore Crocs. I reckon I'm in danger of being that guy later in life. I think we'll see how we go. I'll do whatever I can to resist the urge, but there's a point where you just go, oh, this will do, comfortable.
I would
I'm still
never,
wearing jeans.
ever wear sandals with socks. It's just no.
Just no.
No.
Right.
I need to find out. Right, what colours are we doing?
Grey. So as I said earlier, once I put the top-notch masks on, I really have. It's a very, very slim chance that the demarcation lines I'm doing from the drawing will match where they go, but they're going to be close enough. It's just a ballpark. There we go. Green. Using this AK real color, I usually for quite a while I was using like a lot of people do, the Vallejo Model Air, and obviously you get a lot of tip dry and all that sort of stuff. And if you peel a bit of masking off, the whole thing can peel back. Beautiful color range, but I think sometimes they're just more trouble than what they're worth. There's a level of control I'm getting with this that I couldn't get with the Vallejo stuff, no matter how much you thin it. So it's worth shopping around. If you find one you're happy with, do that.
Yeah.
So you'd be like me, that you've got a couple of paints in different ranges, and you could just go from one to another depending on what you're doing at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Vallejo, I've got Tamiya, and I've got Alcro.
Yeah, I don't really have Tamiya. Being in Australia, SMS paints are a lot more accessible to us down here. So I use these primarily for aircraft, but there's a couple of colours that they don't do, and this grey is one of them. In fact, this dark sea grey. They're really nice colours, but they do tend to. I think a lot of time I use them. Depends on the weather. That they're dried before they hit the plastic, and it can be quite rough in texture, whereas this has always been smooth.
Yeah. Now I've just got to find the right frigging colour.
There we go.
What colour are you using for the grey?
Yeah, it's a pretty standard 381C, which is the spec, and color shade 638 RF dark sea grey.
And who's that by?
AK Real Color. Our Frontline, our local store, has only recently in the last couple of months started stocking AK stuff, which is fortunate because I was just going through trying to find one that really, when they say that they conform to these color specs, they don't. So for a company to, in the real world, a company that manufactures paint to a certain specification would need to supply a sample of that randomly when asked by the controlling corporation, whether it be military or civilian or whatever, to be tested against color chips and everything else. It's not many model paint companies, in fact none of them would actually do that. So if they claim to be a certain spec, that's just as a guide really for modelers, but it really, as you've seen, different companies have very different shades for the same color.
Yeah.
But this looks close enough. In fact, yeah, because like last time I'd painted like a Mirage. We have a Mirage down the road at a museum, and I painted a Mirage, and then actually took. No, I didn't. I didn't take the Mirage down. I took the 2 bottles of the SMS product down and held them up against the actual product, and it was identical. So that'll do.
Cool.
It's quite fortunate with that.
Well, I'm going to be using Tanya's XF24, which is as close as I've got. So I'm not fanning around and running out and getting some more because I can't be bloody arsed.
Of course.
And it's a close enough grey. Oh, I'm going to get my detractors saying, oh, it's the wrong grey. Well, actually, my model, my build, gets stuffed.
Totally agree with that.
It's close enough for government work. And the fact that I worked on them, tough. Oh, we're doing just over an hour. Right, if you could hit the like button, guys. I'm only 89 short of 1,000.
Wow.
So if there's anybody out there that hasn't subbed, please sub. Please, creepy, creepy, crawly, crawly, bomb lick, brown nose, brown nose, brown nose. Ding-a-ling me, please.
Ding-a-ling you.
The thing is, they're doing all this. Where the hell's that come from? Okay, that's interesting. We've got. No, that's too horrible. That needs thinning a bit. Not by much, though.
Look at us being industrious. Dum, dum, dum.
Well, I'm having to clean my airbrush again because that is not working properly. It's really pissing me off. Don't get me wrong, I love my airbrush. Love it. But I hate this bit.
Which? Oh, the cleaning you're talking about?
Well, not just the cleaning, getting it working again. It's like, why are you being an absolute bitch?
So what type of airbrush do you have there?
I've got Harder and Steinbeck.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah, I've been airbrushing for years, mate. Nice, Iwata.
Mine's a Water Eclipse, and I had a cheap knockoff thing, a HS Eng earlier, and it was just crap, awful to clean and everything else. My brother sponsored me one of these, and then I obviously paid him back for it. But we've got the same airbrush, and it's beautiful. Does everything we need it to.
Cool. Right. Let's move that and that out of the way, because if I don't, I'm going to knock it.
My theory with airbrush brand choice is go for a brand that is local to your area and that you can get parts. So this one, Iwata being Japanese, that obviously in Australia that we can get parts a little bit easier than we could say Harder Steinbeck. It really depends on the suppliers. But Badger tend to be more in America than here. So if you're in America, get a Badger. If you're in Europe, get a Harder Steinbeck. If you're down under Australia, New Zealand, or whatever, then consider an Iwata. Basically, make up your own mind, but I would choose a brush that you can get spare parts for, because you will drop the needle and bend it and everything else. It's a community service announcement.
And at the end of the day, folks, remember, it's your life. Do what you want. Your model making, your model, your kit, you do what you want.
Totally agree. There was a, you know how after every model show there's a bit of, I wouldn't say scandal, but a bit of argy-bargy and online arguments and stuff like that. The one that happened here was somebody posted a thing. Basically, somebody said, like, you know, what's a go with Games Workshop having their own category? I mean, they're not even modelers; they're just painters. And you just sort of think, well, if I could paint that good, I'd be really happy.
Well, at the end of the day, they've still got to make the model.
Oh
Do they
yeah,
not understand that? Are they that anally retentive?
I guess, but you know,
Yeah.
not my view.
They have to glue parts together. Ergo, that makes them a modeler.
But
I
even
don't
if
care
there's no parts to
who
glue
you are.
together, I can't paint to the level that figure painters do. And I'm in awe. Whenever I see them, I just, oh, that's amazing. I can't do that. You know? So
Right. How much have you
everyone
tried?
do
How
what
much have
you
you
want to
practiced?
do.
John, how much have you tried? How much have you practiced?
Not enough.
Right, there you go then. Once you practice and practice, you'll get there. Yeah, that's the problem these days. I'm the same. I look at something, go, I can do that, try it and go, no, I fucking can't. And then I got to practice to get to that standard. Yeah? Too many people expect too much too soon without having to practice. And that's
So I've
a
been
fact.
playing with these guys lately. Not great, but you know, he's getting there. Just you know, because I'm no good figure painting. I've been painting figures. So they
Practice.
just a
Practice.
German machine gun crew. But yeah, but you know,
That's it. You're practicing. If you don't practice, you don't get better.
yeah, it's good. Just getting out of my comfort zone. You know, I look
That's
at
good as
everyone
well.
else's models and just go, oh, I want to do that because it's not what I do generally.
That's why I do weird shit like I do, because I get bored. I get bored very, very easily doing the same-o.
Looking at, trying to understand where on this drawing where the main landing gear bay is. It's not really well defined on the little drawing I've got here.
Yeah.
It's very small. But as I say, it's a rough guide. I'm still trying to work out. There we go. That'll do. Green, grey. Ooh. Hmm. All right. Starting to get a bit of condensation in my airline, I believe.
Do you not have an air trap?
Oh, I have an air trap, but
A water trap, sorry.
sorry, a water. Yes, I do, and it's empty. But
Okay.
I don't have a tank.
Where is your water trap?
Oh, it's at the compressor.
Right. Try flipping it round at the brush. Because bear in mind, you've got all that length of hose to go as well once you've done it.
Yeah. So, sorry, what did you say? Try what?
Try turning the trap round to the thingy end. Change the trap from the compressor end to the airbrush end. Because bearing in mind, once it comes out the compressor, it's got all the way along the lead to go as well.
Yes. I'm still able to get a fine line though, so I'll keep going. So this is pretty much just roughing in anyway.
Oh, fuck's sake. 2 needles knackered.
Yeah.
Yeah, both my point needles have gone. I need a. Yeah, they're slightly bent.
Oh no.
That's all right. I've got a 0.4, so that'll have to do. Just won't be able to do fine lines at the moment.
Um. Hmm.
And we're both being noisy bastards.
Yep. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the Revell instructions again because it's not very clear. Oh, that's a bit better. I'll do panel lines now. Right. You might or may not remember me saying at the beginning of this build series that I was doing this partially because I want to, because always do what you want to, but partially for a group build on a certain Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's the last day of that. So
Oh,
I'm not going to
okay.
make the deadline, and I do not care.
Okay. Sorry we took so long.
No, nothing. As I say, like, I wanted to build it anyway. So, you know, it's not like they're paying me. There are no prizes or anything at all. Just, you know, life is good. I'm not the only one who didn't finish.
Is that a good thing?
Oh, it's just one of those things. Like, you know, it's real life and everything else. Things that do matter more. But you know, I mean, the fact is, I live in a world where I'm able to have a hobby, so I'm not complaining.
That's good, because I take the piss out if you did.
This must be riveting, YouTube. Well, mind you, I'd watch it because I've watched your other builds.
Yeah, but this is a bit different. You get to see the vast majority of the stuff on here, so there is absolutely no editing.
Lovely. Didn't work.
Right. There we have that done. No, we don't.
Oh, I'm on the big screen. You might want to include you.
Oh, when did that go?
Oh, it's just 10 minutes ago I was showing a
Oh, yeah,
Tammy.
that's right. Got a comment. Dominic says, John, that looks neat. Will you be there on Sunday with the scale models for Vet's live stream?
I will be there. It sounds like fun. I always enjoy that.
All right, so I'm going to leave that to dry. Once it's dried, I will then be taking off the tack of bluiness. You know the tacky stuff you use, John?
The SMS masking putty?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will show you what happens to blue tack.
Oh, I use blue tack as well.
Yeah. The blue
That's
tack
why I
just
have the
eats
blob
up all the
here.
paint.
Yes.
Need to give that half an hour to dry.
So I generally, if I'm doing masking with, I generally use blue tack. I do use a masking putty. What I find this Panzer putty, or whatever you want to call it, is good for is quick little repairs, if you like. So oversprays and stuff later on. It's so malleable that it's easy to just put somewhere, spray around it, and then keep moving it and all that sort of stuff. This stuff, what I find is it's so gooey that for half the year in Australia that you can put it somewhere, and then by the time you go to spray it, it's on the other wing. It just runs. But if you're quick, it's very, very good. And I basically use it for that. I don't really use it for masking the entire aircraft just because it moves so much. It's good stuff, but it's too fluid. I think too fluid, too random. You can't control it. Blue tack doesn't run, so I do tend to use blue tack more. Depends on the application. So this has sort of been spraying for an hour and a quarter or so, and I'm still able to get a very fine line out of this. I do like this AK paint, but I've heard it dries very quickly and just becomes a goo, an ooze. But as I say, I'm new to it because my local has only just started stocking it. But I like the control it can give me. It's like guns. I do believe it's acrylic. I'm not even sure. How are we for time?
Hour and a half.
Plenty of time. I haven't tuned into the Ashes at all so far.
No?
I'm really crap at being an Aussie. I'm just not watching the cricket. Okay, top wing.
Right, there's
Missing
nothing
a
else
hole.
I can get on with at the moment.
No?
On the tornado? No, actually, yeah, there is.
Um, dum, dum, dum. You know what I didn't do?
What?
Sand down the two halves of these external tanks. It's got a hell of a ridge there, I can feel. I'm going to have to redo that.
Yep, we do.
Oh dear.
Right, that's my new needle purchase. That'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, lovely. What size do you go for?
0.2,
Hmm.
which is what I've got I need for, because I'm going to freehand the rest of the camo in green.
Yeah. What I'll do, I think some of our viewers in the future may be interested in how this top-notch mask set goes. I'm in two minds about whether to put them all on during a live stream or putting them on beforehand and just seeing how they go. What would you prefer?
Do it during the live stream because I'd like to see how they work as well. See if
Okay,
they're any
sure.
good.
I used them on the recent Vulcan build and they were fantastic.
Cool.
I had used a different brand on a Lancaster, and although the contours were, to my eye, correct and everything else, I mean, it looks good, they just weren't as refined, I don't think.
No.
As an Aussie, I was delighted with top-notch service. I ordered on their website and it was here within 3 weeks, which is not bad for what you expect around halfway around the world.
Where's it coming from? The UK?
Yep, somewhere in the UK.
Cool.
It's a British company. Yeah. It's all right. I've got a half grey plane now, but you can't really tell with all the marbling texture and everything else.
Cool.
I am happy with the colour though. It does look, yeah, doesn't look bad. Bit more there.
Right. You've got to let that dry now, haven't you?
I do.
So, should we knock it on the head? Because I've got to let mine dry as well.
I'd
There's
be
not a
very
lot I
happy
can-
to do that.
I've got not a lot to crack on with.
Sure.
So, what have you got done, Mr. Marley?
Well, I think everyone's been watching. So, yeah, I've been following generally the top-notch masking diagram of where the grey is and where the demarcations for the green, the dark green are. That should come up all right. I'll just leave that aside. It's precariously on the box top. The two externals have been painted in again, the shapes and contours of the Revell diagrams, because the Eduard ones have a desert yellow.
Mhm.
What do you call it? Hemp?
No, desert grey, a desert pink.
Desert pink.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what, as you see it, is what I've done. Yourself?
Cool. I'm up to there.
Sorry, I'm full screen.
Yep. Sorry, give me a sec. Let's pop me up. So there we go. That's where I'm up to.
Yeah.
So once I've allowed that to dry, I'm happy with what I can see through there. So yep, once that's dry, I will then peel off the blue tack, and then I will freehand the green with my 0.2 nozzle when it comes tomorrow.
When it comes.
So we will see what it looks like tomorrow. I'll show on this on Friday. So yeah, there we go. That is where I is up to.
Wonderful. So yes, we've both made lots of progress today, I think.
Yep, definitely. So if you'd like to say your batty time, Mr. Marley.
Goodbye. I'll see you guys on Friday, hopefully. See how that goes.
Yep, hopefully we're back on Friday. I've got no plans for Friday, so remember, stay safe, keep modelling, and see you then. Bye.
Hey, Rick.